Hey viewers, Craft here. This is a quick rundown breakdown of the Arcane trailer. Not really much doing a full cut down. It's just me going through frames and talking about things I saw because I thought, why not? It'll be fun. Quick thing I'm going to say now is I'm going to refer to Vi and Jinx as Vi and Jinx. I'm not going to swap between Powder and Violet when they were kids for a part of it because I get tongue-tied confused. Again, if I pause and seem tongue-tied because this is all one take and I'm not really gonna edit this down or anything special. Besides that, I would say, yeah, if I mispronounce the name, sorry, and I hope you enjoy. But let's get into it. Alrighty. Starting off, frame-wise, we have actually what looks to be the ruins of the council that same night as the end of last season through someone's eyes, which I'm going to assume are going to be Jace's, where we're going to be able to see like destruction and damage through his eyes and his reactions. I very much do know that Jace and Victor are probably going to be alive, and Mel has a chance of surviving, more so because later we're going to see damage on the other side of the room in a frame. It's a high chance Mel is just injured, if not more so like bedridden, knocked out, coma right now. But again, there's a chance she might be dead as well. Again, she was at the impact point. Next frame, though, went back to check, and yes, this is where Caitlin's mom was sitting in the council meeting. The girl with the weird, like, rotating necklace was the area right next to her that is completely gone, obliterated. So it does seem off, though, because they technically were the furthest away from the impact point. So the fact that they might be the ones that got the worst end of it does seem a bit interesting, concept-wise. Moving on, we have Vi going through these downed chem tank shimmer users, which I believe these might be the same ones we see later in the trailer breakdown, more so. Again, doing this more so as like when she's finally able to go through and see the destruction. Probably the same time when she saw the broken chair. Next, we get to see Mel's mother putting on this war mask, clearly what looks to be in somewhere in Zaun. So it's probably when she and the Noxians fully go down there. And yes, it is very much a Shuriman-style mask, because again, it's been theorized that her and Mel were from Shuriman-controlled parts of the area that Nox has held. Very cool mask, though, really design. Next is this air blimp, which, looking at like the lighting of the red sky, I kind of want to say this might also still be the same night, because again, we ended Arcane in a red skied night. And again, it's happening right now. This big cloud of gas and smoke could be from the explosion, giving cover. The idea that once that explosion went off, it was a signal to attack. It might be a different time period, who knows? It does seem weird having it be another attack on Piltover, though. It could be the idea, though, that this happens later in the season after Piltover does their response to the bombing. The Noxus Zaun fights happening in that. More so the idea that this is Zaun attacking again, which I believe it's their ship due to the fact you can see the green on there, and for another reason, again, a bit later. Vi reacting still not fully in her outfit. For later, we saw. Noxian saluting. This might be the mother responding to the troops, telling them to get ready to fight, due to another thing we see in a small few frames later. But I also think this could be the idea that another Noxian official might show up. Because feels like there's going to be an outcome to the mother's story, where something is going to show up that drags her back to Noxus after all this. And it does feel like a salute to someone who just arrived, not someone that's just doing a thing, but at the same time it could be her giving a speech, which I will put up earlier, I didn't mention it. During the scene with the broken chair, you can hear her mention the council is dead. I do think that is probably her saying that to either Jace or Mel if she is alive. it doesn't see the way she tones it doesn't seem like something that felt like just some random people. Doesn't feel like something she'd just be like, your council is dead to these soldiers here, but I might be wrong. We can see Caitlyn in the new outfit and one of the new members of her group, which I do wonder who this guy is. I know people theorize that the new girl in the group might be the previous sheriff's daughter. I don't think it's going to be her. It doesn't feel like that long of a time skip is going to be put in there. There might be at some point, but as of right now, I don't think that's going to be her. We're going to see a good look at the new Hex Tech weapons, including Caitlyn's new rifle, which is very cool, but also weird, because you can clearly see where the Hex Tech, like, actual gem is. We get a good look at the scopes and the lenses, but how does it reload? Where are the bullets? And how do you fire her net gun? It's just looking at this gun, it just seems so weird. Especially because to pull up the lenses, you have to extend it, so is it sort of a pump action sniper with how it works? Or is it somewhat automatic and such? It's something weird that kind of looks more like, if you remove the front barrel, it looks like Jin's gun even. But again, it's Hex Tech weapons, they always look interesting and weird. Speaking of, we get a new look at Vi's gauntlets with the pressure gauge. And of course, we get the images of seeing Vi in her uniform, which, again, a lot of people were surprised that she's actually an enforcer, but yeah, no, we've known for a while. In fact, in League, her quotes are very much the fact that she is basically a police brutality character. So yeah, fun little details. Next, we get to see the chem tank users more or less skydiving onto this building, which, again, I think this is a part of the same night as that airship. The idea that they're jumping from the airship into the building. Maybe a response attack, or maybe this was a planned assault to occur once the explosion happened. We do see what looks to be Caitlyn in her uniform right now, so again, this could just be a later scenario. This is the final chapter, by the way, yes, last season, and they have mentioned that they are actually working on the idea of other locations for series. And again, we can see in this image that it's not fully her in a new outfit here. It might be her new outfit, it might not do the shoulder pad. But to be fair, we don't know what's under that shoulder pad for the outfit. I would probably say that, again, this seems like it's happening sometime around the same night. Possibly. Because it does look like her old outfit here in this image. Again, we can see some enforcers more or less pushing their way down. We get a wanted poster of Jinx, which looks pretty cool in the style they have. Vi running through this area, which is later in the trailer, all these grenades popping up, and a small, quick scenario when they explode. That's not the explosion of this frame, it's actually this frame here. A completely different scene where it's more of a blink and you'll miss it moment, where it's hard to get the proper frames, but you can see there's enforcers, there's the Bat Nastaya that was kind of race we saw with Echo's people, and what looks to be that Noxian warrior that's with Mel's mom, who I still theorize is Urgot. Later we get to see them basically capture and arrest what looks to be Singed. I'm wondering exactly how they found Singed, because his base really wasn't well known. And more so just the idea of what happened to then the little lizard creature. Zika, more or less with Jinx's gun and her like cloak here, which brings up top later. We can see this giant of a man, clearly pumped up with Shimmer, which I really do think this has something to do with, again, Mundo, due to the fact that, again, his purple substance he has pumping in him. He's giant, muscular, and purple, and this guy's giant, muscular, and, well, purple. We see Caitlyn using a older rifle here for a quick moment scene with her crew, and for some reason the guy from before isn't in his outfit, it looks like. He's just in a shirt, so maybe he's captured, and this is them breaking him out, or something happened. It'd be weird otherwise, you know? Next, we get to see this Baron before, which I believe many people assumed he's just a Yordle, which does fit due to the furriness and weird-shaped head. Him and his gang, clearly, all reacting in worry to a statue that shows spewing out gas from its mouth, which I want to say that this, due to the, like, weird patterns on the side surrounding it and the pipes going through it, this might be a statue for a vent. It's supposed to be pumping, like, clean air for them. And this statue is supposed to be more like Janna, like, design-wise. Again, it doesn't really look like Janna. It's kind of stylized, but again, it could just be a statue of a woman. It could be reference to Janna being whole clean air for Zaun. Who knows? Next, we get, again, the mother signaling them to fire, which, again, seems like a scenario of her troops getting involved. The lighting, again, red sky, so I want to say that this might be the same night. Might just be red lighting. Again, it's really weird, and sorry for all the words I say again. It's just a phrase I just can't stop saying for some reason. Don't know why. Next, we have this scene with the Baron rushing through this basically alleyway. Behind him, though, you can actually see there is a child, there's Jinx, and there's a Shimmer device. Now, it does not look like the same. It doesn't look like the same time of day as the last image we saw, but to be fair, it might just be like scenario-wise. He doesn't have his hat, and his nose is bleeding, so it could be the fact that he escaped wherever he was, and it was Jinx that was pumping in that gas. We don't know. He does this cool thing with his arms that turn into these blades that spin. We get a look at Savika with this new Jinx-styled arm, which I keep going back and forth with the question of, is she working with Jinx now? As sort of the idea that they both respected and cared for Vander. And Silco, sorry, didn't mean to say Vander. Well, technically Vander as well, but both. More so Silco. And the idea that, are they working together now? And taking out the Barons, it seems? Or is this been her doing this in the name of Jinx, pretending to be Jinx, to try to get people to hunt her down? Because she does dislike Jinx, but not as much as she dislikes Vi, which they both have in common right now. So again, they might be working together. This cool, big, chomper-esque arm, which this flash of light, immediately another blinking, you'll miss it. That's Victor right there. You can see his, like, walking stick, and he clearly seems to be in the slum area with all the, like, Shimmer addicts, so this might be him using the Hextech core to change them. So there might be, on the side story of Jace, Victor, and Heimerdinger, the idea that Victor is turning slowly to how he is in the game. He's corrupting himself. We get a scene of Echo coming through the pipe, looking at lights, which then leads to this image of Jinx seen as a savior. Because again, to Jinx, it's horrible what happened, but to everyone else, if she is known for killing Silco, she just killed a powerful Baron who was making Shimmer. She technically could be seen as a hero. But to be fair as well, this might also not have fully been a sort of Jinx art. This could have been a different, like, character, but basically someone painted over it. But again, it's just a weird art style of Graffiti. But it does feel like this is the idea that people are seeing her as right now a savior, even though she didn't mean to do it. And that might be why her and Savike are hunting out Barons. We then get this huge explosion of Shimmer. This could be another attack. Here we can see a cloaked figure with the monkey behind it. It's talking about Jinx here. Again, if Savike is not working with Jinx, this might be her pretending to be Jinx doing this whole attack. Next, we get an image of Heim looking back. The blue light usually is Hextech related, so this might be something he is seeing, which I do think from his reaction this might be him reacting to, say, Victor and what's going on with Victor and that. So this could be him seeing Victor turn people, probably no. And then, of course, we get the coolest scene ever. We get to see Warwick, who does not fully seem wolf, but seems more like wolf man right now. So this is not the final transformation of Warwick, I don't think. This is going to be more of a Wolfman style look, not just big wolf. Then we get to see Caitlyn actually use her gun, which you can see, besides the runes blasting it, there are runes on the bullet that break into the card. Finally, going into what is basically these pillars with the graffiti on them depicting events. First off, you can clearly see the Vi and Jinx as kids, and then you can see also the monkey explosion, which we get a better look at later. Clearly this plays, by the way, from the little art down below on the pillar there, on the rimming there, and then the statue in the back. I think this might be an old temple to Chana, even. More so, though, we can see now the art better. The two of them happy on the left side. On the right, we have them being carried by Vander. We have, again, the monkey explosion. Across from that, we have basically Jinx crying over the dead Vander. And then we have what looks to be a depiction of, I assume, Caitlyn with the purple hair and evil look over those fishes that are devouring, which a bit later we get a better look at that. Which, by the way, in this scene we can get a quick gander while Jinx is shooting, and it's hard to pause for it too much because it's very hard to see. But yes, it is clearly the two boys they grew up with, Clagger and Milo, next to the exploding monkey, because again, it still haunts her. And finally, above where those fish were, there is a shot up graffiti of Silco, because that's haunting her now even more. Before the two clash, and yeah, that's it really. So yeah, that all done though. I feel like this is going to be a really cool series. I hope to see more soon. I hope you enjoyed. If there's anything I missed, leave a comment down below. Like and share if you will, and I'll see you all next time. Peace.